A very big welcome to October Gallery, which celebrates today its 33rd birthday. And to this latest exhibition of Laila Shawa, The Other Side of Paradise. The October Gallery has been exhibiting the work of Laila Shawa since 1994. One of the most dynamic artists in the Middle East, she has enlightened many with her wry analysis of political conflicts, hypocrisies, and the power plays of that area. Tonight the exhibition will be opened by another outstanding voice, Yasmin Alibai Brown, a journalist for The Guardian, Observer, New York Times, Time Magazine, Newsweek, and a regular columnist on The Independent and The Evening Standard. She is also a broadcaster, author, and filmmaker. She received an MBE in 2001 for her services to journalism and, more interestingly still, returned it in 2003 as a protest against the new empire in Iraq. She is a senior fellow at the Foreign Policy Center, has won awards for her films, and in 2005 was voted the most powerful Asian media professional in the UK. Please welcome Yasmin Alibai.
Can I hold it? Thank you very much. I feel a bit of a fraud because the arts world is a very salubrious world, though I love it and I consume it like so many of you here. I was just asking Laila Shawa, I was here many years ago and I saw this piece by someone which had all this barbed wire around it. And it was about Palestine. She looked at me and said, that was me. So I've known her without knowing her, and some of the work here is, I think, a continuation of what I saw then. Journalists try, and mostly fail, to tell the stories that need to be told. Artists, and by that I don't just mean art as in this room, but writers, poets, architects even, I think sometimes give themselves too much importance. They say wonderful things like, oh, art humanizes, art expresses, or what was Salman Rushdie's phrase, it fills a God-shaped hole. But I don't think so, because all I remember is that the Germans really loved art when they were burning bodies and turning them to ash. So I think there's an overstatement sometimes. But sometimes, and I feel that this artist and some others really do live up to that hype. Really do make people, we can write every week about what's happening in Palestine. Every week Robert Fisk does his best in our newspapers. I don't know how many people actually even attend to it. But if they came here, they would have to. I was very struck by the reason for, the inspiration for some of the most powerful pieces here. For Palestinians and others around the world, Arabs, but not only Arabs, there is nothing without politics. Bread is politics, fruit is politics, olives are politics. Children's stories are politics, as one of the pieces here shows. And I don't know if the artist will want me to say this, but in my view, Laila Shawa's work is political. It's political art. And it sort of embodies a universal moral sense, which I think sometimes goes missing. What do I mean by that? It's really interesting. I was talking to somebody just today. I said, so, how many of us are going to protest about what's happening in Syria? How many of us are going to do what needs to be done? I'm not Arab. But at least one can say about the Palestinian cause that increasingly, most people in this country now, I think most people in this country, certainly not our government, understand and know what is going on. They know it. But how many of us Muslims or non-Muslims are even rising to what is happening in Syria? We have very, very limited concerns. It's as if our heads and hearts can only occupy one or two causes. In a way, I envy people who have politics and religion still in their lives. I think the art that comes out of those deeper things is extraordinary art. I think I live in a society now where there is no politics. And something's lost by that. And the art becomes, I think, in my view, even by very talented people, individual, personal, self-indulgent sometimes. What I love about Laila's work is it's about a universal morality. It isn't just about what the Israelis are doing to Palestinians, which is a very big blot on the landscape. But it's also the internal oppressions. This girl, apparently, I'm told, the burns on her hands were from a previous unsuccessful attempt at suicide because of her own life, because of how her life as a woman in Palestine gives her no hope within her family. One of the most shocking truths to me is that honor killings have gone up in Palestine in the last 10 years. How do you even have time? How do you have time to kill your girls when you've got all this to do? But they do have time. And then there's this very difficult thing, and somebody, it's a very difficult thing to say. When the woman in Chechnya, all those years ago, remember, she killed herself, this beautiful young woman. And I remember writing a column saying, this will get me into a lot of trouble, and probably get me into a lot of trouble again. I can see why she did it. I can see why she did what she did after what was going on in Chechnya. Of course, this meant I was a proto-terrorist and there was a lot of trouble. But I think sometimes we have to think into the heads of such people, and I think Laila's done it so brilliantly. So I am very honoured to be asked to introduce you, Laila. I don't deserve it. I certainly don't deserve the honour. I'm really pleased that you asked me, and thank you.